kung fu.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I have another action classic for you. 1989's Tango and Cash, starring Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. The legendary Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. These two guys are two action stars. They're not only just two action stars, they've been in plenty of other films, plenty of other movies. Hell, Stallone is an Oscar nominee. I don't know if Stallone ever won an Oscar for Rocky, but I know Rocky got nominated for a bunch of Oscars. That original one. I don't know about the rest of them, but I know that original Rocky got nominated for a lot of Oscars. And obviously Kurt Russell has been in a bunch of things. Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. I mean, the list of the things that movies that Kurt Russell's been in. Obviously, a movie that I reviewed not that long ago, Tombstone. Like, Kurt Russell's been in so many things. Hell, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's been in things recently as Monarch on Apple. So yeah, Kurt Russell in both. They're still working to this day. They're still working at a high level to this day. I mean, Kurt Russell's a character in the Fast and Furious movies, you know, and Sylvester Stallone's still working. He was in the Creed franchise. He's got that show, The King of Tossaloo. Is it Tossaloo? I can't remember. But he's got that show that's on. He's got the Expendable movies. Like, they're both still working to this day. But at this time in 1989, they were huge action stars. They were like, I don't even say rising stars, because Stallone had already did Rocky. He had already did Rambo. I think he even had already done, what's the other movie he did? Stallone was already working on shit. He had already done so many things. Like I say, Cobra. He had already done Cobra, which is another action classic I might get to at another point. But Stallone had already been in a lot of action things. He had already started, his star was already on the rise. Kurt Russell, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown, like I said. Escape from New York. He had already done these things already. So, like I say, his star was definitely on the rise as well. Oh, and he was in John Carpenter's The Thing. So, Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone were huge stars at this time. So, when you have a movie with these two massive personalities and massive stars as the lead, you would think you would get something unique. You would get something amazing. And to a certain extent, you do. Now, I'm going to come up and tell you, the movie never is as good as it could have been. There are things that don't work about the movie. There are some over-the-top, ridiculous things that even for the time it was made, and for the movie they were going for, it's like still like, okay, this is a lot. Particularly, there's one sequence in the movie that's just ridiculous. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, but it's fun. And at the end of the day, that is the best thing I can say about this movie, Tango and Cash. It is fun. It is unapologetically an old school 1980s action movie that just happens to be led by these two big personalities and these two big stars in Stallone and Russell. Now, the movie Tango and Cash revolves around these two rival cops. Now, they both live in LA. They're both super cops in LA. But they never interact with each other. They're in different precincts at different sides of Los Angeles. So where they are, they just never interact with one another. But they hear about each other all the time. You know, there's constantly throughout the course of the movie, you see in news, especially the first, because the movie's like an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. And for the first, I'd say for the first hour of the movie, it's just them doing their own thing and their own lives. And you'll see once in a blue moon, one of them will pick up a paper and it'll have the other one on the front page. And another one pick up a paper and it has the other one on the front page. Because the idea of this movie, and I could be completely wrong, but as I was watching it, it hit me. I was like, so this movie is essentially, we're going to take two super cop archetypes that on their own would be leads in their own individual movie, show, whatever. And then we're going to have it be like, what if two characters who lived in their own individual worlds, who are the center of their own individual worlds, like they're both equally badass, came together? which is an action movie concept that we've all had. I mean, we've all thought, what if this character from this action movie interacted with this character? What if Jason Bourne interacted with, James Bond? What if John Wick interacted with this character? We've all always had those fantasies, you know. We've all had them of like this badass character interacting with another badass character. Usually the closest thing we will ever get is just having those two actors be in the same movie together. And we get kind of a sort of a version of that. But we won't ever get this character from this movie and this character from this, like, main character from this movie and main character from this movie interacting with each other. That's not something you really see until, like, honestly, modern day with, like, the MCU and DCU and shit like that. With, like, that's what makes the MCU special, because then I always thought that, from, like, why I've always kind of loved the MCU is because it's just something that we've all wanted to see. I've always wanted to see for as long as I've been alive, and I hadn't seen it until Marvel. But they kind of do that with Tango and Cash, because when at the beginning of the movie, when they show them individually, Ray Tango and is it John Cash? I can't remember. Kurt Russell's character's first name. Hold on, I think it's John Cash. No, Gabriel Cash. Gabe Cash. Ray Tango and Gabe Cash. When they showed them in their individual worlds, they're very different. When they show Tango, Ray Tango, Sylvester Stallone, he's a clean-cut guy. He's this wealthy man. It's like insinuated like he's like a millionaire who's wealthy, drives nice cars, he owns all these real estates, he owns shit. And he's almost in this, and everyone even asks him the question, why are you even an investigator? Like, you don't have to do this for a living. You can just be at home with your money. And he kind of insinuates that I love that. One, he loves the action. He's addicted to doing this, to solving crimes, to putting his life on the line. Like, he's not in this cop shit because to pay the bills. He's in this cop shit because he's good at it. And he's like, I'm just like, he believes in it. But you see his precinct, and his precinct looks nicer. His precinct looks like in the more uppity, I don't want to say uppity area, the more what's the word I'm looking for? Polished area, the more upper crust area of Los Angeles. So he looks the part. He looks like a clean cut guy, but he's about his business. And then you get Cash, who is not that. Cash is not that. Cash is the classic rough and tough and tumble, do whatever it takes to get the job done cop. You know, he's living out of a shitty motel. He drives a nice car, but that's it. He's just wearing t-shirts and jeans. Like, he's not even really dressed up. He looks like a bum. If you didn't know he was a detective, you wouldn't know he was a detective. But he's rough. I love the juxtaposition of Tango catching this bad guy and doing it in a way where it's minimum damage, and Cash catching a bad guy and doing it while wrecking an entire fucking parking garage. And I love that dynamic that they could be in their own individual movies almost, and then they come together. And the movie is at its best when they come together. Just the dynamic back and forth. It felt less like some other buddy cop movies, because most buddy cop movies, it's okay, you could kind of see, okay, this is how these characters are gonna go, Merton Riggs, just okay, that makes sense, the piece kind of just fits together. This isn't that. It's more like two actors playing tennis. They're not, it's it's almost like these are two action stars in a movie, literally competing, but not maliciously competing. It's just I'm gonna up the ante, can you hit it back? It's there's two people playing tennis intensely, and dialogue just works like that, and it's fun, them fucking with each other and just talking shit to each other, because ultimately they're both good cops, even though they may not agree all the time with the way one cop handles it or the other cop handles it. Ultimately, they both understand we're both good cops, we're both not bad guys. But in the movie, the bad guys get the wise idea, obviously, because as it turns out in the movie, they've both been investigating the same goddamn drug kingpin at the same time. Just this drug kingpin's so big that he reached out to both sides of all of LA. So they've been kind of working different angles to get to the same goal. Bad guy has the great idea of, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to kill them because that'd make them martyrs. I mean, they're heroes to New LA. We kill them, it'll just piss off the cops. The government will come down here. You know, it'll get bad if we kill them. But they come up with the great idea of dishonoring them by framing them for murdering an FBI agent, which is classic bad guy 101. Classic bad guy 101. Happens in every superhero thing, happens in anything that lasts more than 3 episodes or 5 books of a hero kicking the bad guy's asses. Is eventually the bad guys have the wise idea, you know what, if we can't actually take care of him directly, why don't we just paint him as the bad guy? Boom, boom, done. And that's what happened to them. And like Tango and Cash it's not a perfect movie. Some of the dialogue is weird. There's a sequence in particular with them in this weird super tech truck, and like it is just explosions and it's nuts. That sequence in like this dirt facility area was just insane. It's near the end of the movie. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's just, like I say, there's just so many, there's some over the top shit. There's some over the top shit. There's some ridiculous shit in this movie. Some of Cash's weaponry and the guy he knows who makes gadgets is just bizarre and out of nowhere. Like, it's weird. There's absolutely no chemistry between Tango and his sister. So like it's hard for you to believe that she's his sister because like there's just no chemistry. Like you don't buy it. But it's like, okay, whatever, I'll accept it. Like there's a lot of things in this movie that is just kind of like funny. That's just like, this is ridiculous. So like this is one of the rare movies that as a movie itself, it is okay at best. But it is such a fun watch, dude. I would probably, as an action movie, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Because the action, when it is hitting, it's fun. It's just fun to watch Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone just you know, duel each other on screen. These just 2 charismatic guys just like battling each other on screen to see who could be the most charismatic guy. But it's weird. It's like having 2 ball hogging teammates on a basketball team, but they both dropped 40. So it's like, well, I mean, they're taking all the shots, but we won the game and they both put up 40. But, you know, so it's less of a teamwork and it's more of 2 guys trying to get theirs. But they both work great. I would probably give Tango and Cash, 8 out of 10 as an action movie. As a movie, probably like a 5, 4. But as an action movie, it's just a fun time. It's stupid, but it's fun. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.